Yes, can everyone hear me? Yeah.
Okay, we can hear you. So let me give you a brief introduction. Ching's been in business for not that long, a short time, and when I was in Perth, well, I met Ching, and she sat down. She said, "I want to be a silver director by this date." I was like, "That's pretty quickly. You think you can really do it?" And she said, "Yes." And she made it happen. A lot of people say they want to do it, but she actually made it happen. So before we share about what you did, let's what did you share a little bit about background, what you do, and why did you join the business, and how did you even hear about this?
Okay. So I'm an accountant by trade, so a chartered accountant, so nothing interesting. But I've been working for 5 years, and I think during the past 5 years, even though I've been earning quite good money, I've been given the opportunity to travel. I guess there's always that thought, or I want something more. And my job, there's no passion there, so there's no burning desire to always, go that one step ahead. So I've always wanted to own my own business, but everything just costs too much to set up, and then you got to think about hiring people and dealing with all that. So I figured, oh, it's best I'll just wait until the opportunity comes. So I met my upline Lyndall at the gym, and she pretty much I saw her drinking the shakes, and I thought, wow, that looks quite fancy. So I approached her and started asking about the products, and she actually gave me the Health and Freedom newsletter, and I took it home and read it myself. And I think from there on, it generated a lot of self-interest because I wanted to own my own business with low capital costs, and also to do with the health and wellness because I'm quite a gym freak as well, so I love my exercise. And then from there on, I guess, yeah, I decided to try the products. It was fantastic. Saw the results in my mother, who's a huge ambassador of USANA, and then I decided, I'm going to do this business, and then, yeah, that's my story, yeah.
Let me ask you. You said you always wanted to have your own business, but they require big investment, employees. What other type of businesses did you look into?
I was actually looking into more like franchising opportunities, anything that, well, food related, because I guess food was low cost, and in Australia especially, you can mark it up so high, and then generate high profits because a lot of my friends are actually in the franchising business. But then having said that, though, since our salaries here are so high, and then you got to look at all those legal side of things, and it was just too much, and then you don't get your own time off, and even if you do, you're still thinking about your business back home, so it's a little bit quite stressful, and a lot of them have either sold it off or just yeah, continued on, but they don't look the best. So yeah, that sort of scared me away from I guess looking to that path. It's just the cost, really, yeah, at the end of the
Did
day.
you did you happen to look at a Subway franchise? Because I had looked into
We
doing a
actually
Subway
did.
franchise.
We actually did, and it was actually, I think when that time we inquired, it was 59 people, applicants before myself. So you actually have to wait for those 59 people to get their franchise granted before you could. So by then, I'm like 59, the market's going to be so saturated. So nah, I decided nah.
Well, and then what's the average earnings? Just to let, I mean, I know, but maybe some of these people don't know here. Some of these mastermind members don't know. What's the average income for a Subway for the first 1 or 2 years?
Well, it depends on your location, but my friend who actually owned the one right in the city, for the first year, he actually made a loss because of all the fixtures and fittings and getting yourself set up. But it took him about good 3 to 5 years where he actually started making some money, and now he's doing well, but he's actually sold the business off because it was just too stressful for that first 5 years of setting up.
Yeah, so it took him 3 to 5 years to make money, and then when he finally making money, he was sick of the bread
I
smell,
know.
I guess.
Yeah,
And
the
then
white hairs came through.
and then in the Subway, they require you to actually work the restaurant, right? You just can't open it and then what is
Yes.
that? 1 or 2? What? How many years? Is it the first year or the second 2 years? Maybe it's
He actually
changed.
started making money towards the second and third year, but the first 2 years he was at a loss. Yeah.
But the first 2 years, he has to work the business, right? You have to work. You
Yes.
can't like.
Oh, he worked the whole time. Yeah.
He worked the whole time, 7 days a week, the whole time.
Correct. Correct.
So yeah, so I think that's. I think we're lucky. Both you and I, we researched about franchising, and you thought that was tough to basically take like 3 5 years to do the business. That's what the same statistics in the U.S. And the thing that got me was you're not making money for the first 2 years. I could understand that, but like having to work it. I mean, I wanted a business where I can pass off. I can hire employees, pass off. But if you have to physically work there, and most of these franchises require you to do that because they want you to do the best. If you hire someone, they may run it to the ground, right? And then the reputation tarnishes. So they actually want you to work the business. So that was the problem. You work 7 days a week for 18 hours. And like Hoyi says, it's definitely better to do network marketing. Way, way better. That's what opened my eyes. So lucky, like Ching, you realized that, I realized that, and just to work those 5 years of 7 days, those long hours, you had to be in line for 57 people before you can even get to do that, right? Well, here you want to get started, you're motivated, you are hungry, you want to go. Hey, you get started right now, and you can make it happen, right? Instead, you have to wait to do that. So another thing you shared about was Lindell, your upline, approached you. How did she approach you? Did she actually approach you, or you went to her because you saw and she said she was using the product? What was she actually using that got you interested?
She was drinking the chocolate Nutrimeo. I actually approached her because I thought, wow, that looks yummy. And it was the whole USANA on the bottle label. So she was doing a little bit of, I guess, marketing. So, I approached her because she seemed like quite a nice lady, and we were doing the gym class at that time. And I think I'd actually seen her a few times drinking the same shake. So I thought I'd just, ask her. But it was the Health and Freedom newsletter that I read through, and sort of it appealed to me. And then I did more research from there. Yeah.
What made you approach her? You say she looked friendly. Did she always have a smile on her face, or is she with a frown?
She was always smiling, and she was always just drinking some shake.
So the lesson here is marketing, right? When you're like we talked about before we even go about websites and business cards and all that, marketing yourself is just the way you carry yourself around you. Everything counts. Every second counts. If she was frowning, maybe you wouldn't have went up to her, right? You never know who's looking. I mean, of course, for every Ching that approaches her, you think everyone approaches her like the way Ching does? No, right? I mean, I'm sure she's done it for many, many times or years where like no one ever approached her. But at one time that someone approaches you, then it's worth it, right? So it's that one time. I mean, now she's silver, she's building, she's got 2 legs, her business is moving. I mean, for all the times it didn't work, it doesn't matter. The one time it works, that's all that counts. And it's the consistency. Now, I'm sure if she brought the blender bottle one time but never brought it, maybe it wouldn't catch your attention. You probably saw her as like the weird happy blender bottle lady, right? She's always there. It's the consistency. And goes back to whether social media or marketing, you guys have to be consistent with your message. It's not like, I'm happy today, I want to go. Tomorrow, I don't feel like it. I'm not doing it. That doesn't work. Annette says in the chat, everything counts. So what happened? She gave you Health and Freedom. Did she have the Health and Freedom with her, or did she have to give it to you the next time? What did you exchange phone numbers? What was the process?
She gave me the Health and Freedom, and she had a business card. We didn't exchange numbers. It was more like, here's my details, and if you just have a read through and if you need anything, just contact me. And I suppose if it had been any different, she probably could have gotten my number, but she's a nice, gentle lady, so she's like, oh, I'll just wait for things to happen, and she probably figured she'd see me at the gym again. I contacted her after about a week of reading and trying. She gave me a sample as well. She had a spare chocolate pouch in her bag, so I contacted her after. Yeah.
Good. So I would have, I think most of us would be a little bit more aggressive and gotten a phone number. But the lesson here is like, if you do it, but she was prepared. She had her samples, she had her tools, right? The basic is the Health and Freedom newsletter, or you have a presentation on iPad, or like samples, business card. She had something, and even though she didn't get your number, if you go through enough people, yeah, you know what? The people are out there. That's the question you got to ask yourself. And how long have you been in business? For a couple months, right?
Just under 11 months.
These people are out there. 11 months, right? They're 11 months. They're out walking on the streets. You just have to go find them. And there are some people. Have you done network marketing before?
No.
Never done network marketing. Very fresh and open to business. They're walking out the streets. They're out there. You just have to get to them. Okay, so that's very good. Let me ask you, what's your vision Now that you're silver, first of all, how does it feel to be silver? Does it feel any difference, or you're sick and tired of it already?
It feels good. I think I'm still slightly recovering, but no, it's good, and obviously ready for the gold run. So preparing myself mentally for that. After hearing Andrew's story, I think we've got to be prepared really mentally. But yeah, no, it's my vision is to do this globally because I was sharing with my downlines that I was recently in Malaysia on a holiday in April. So my family is from Malaysia, and I had the opportunity to share USANA while I was there, and ended up signing 7 prospects and 1 associate. Sorry, 7 customers and 1 associate. So the beauty of this is because I'm such a huge traveler, I can do this whilst I'm traveling. So my vision is to be able to bring this on a global basis. So hence my next trip to China, where I'm actually learning to read and write Chinese and get in touch with my roots. I'm planning to, yeah, bring USANA there as well. So yeah, that's my vision, to do it on a global basis because I like to travel. I can match my dreams with the business. Yeah.
That's awesome. It seems like building international is one of your plans. Share a little bit more about your vision for this business.
My vision is more so to be able to help my downlines who at the moment most of them are doing in the hospitality industry, so they're not doing the structured 8 to 5, so they have morning shifts or they have night shifts, and they're always complaining about time, not having time for relationship, not having time for family. So being able to help them see that USANA is an opportunity to have that residual income, so you don't have to worry so much about time, and you can set yourself up to be able to do whatever you want and not stress about income, because I think that's everyone's problem today, just worrying about not having enough money to pay the bills and just doing a job to pay the bills. And it shouldn't be like that. We only have one life after all, and we should be able to enjoy it and not have that stress of, oh, I'm not going to be able to pay the water bill or rent this week. So that's my vision, to be able to touch as many lives as I can and show them this opportunity. Yeah.
Very noble, just to go out there and help others. So getting back to the rank advancement, and because I know this is going to lead to China, why did you choose that date? What date did you make silver, and why did you choose that date?
I actually chose 21st of June to make silver, which is just last week, but I actually made it on the 9th of June. I chose the 21st of June because I wanted it a week before I'm actually leaving for Shanghai this Saturday. So my goal was 1 week before I fly out. But it actually happened on 9th of June because on that week I had a rank advancement from one of my downlines. And then I had a few people who I had presented to that were interested in joining. So I said, you know what? Let's not wait and get my checks cleared and just go for it. So it was a bit 2 weeks earlier than I expected, but it was more like, look, the opportunity is there, just don't wait and just go for it.
Did you sponsor during your silver run?
I sponsored 4 people on my silver run week.
Fantastic. Now, those 4 people, were they like new people you just met and you quickly signed them up, or they were follow-ups? What type of in the prospecting pipeline, where did they come from?
There were people who had followed up about a good 6 to 8 months ago. So pretty much people who I first asked about, like told them about the USANA opportunity, and they turned me down. But I followed up with them 6 to 8 months down the track, and then just kept, maintaining relationship and contacts. I mean, we didn't even need to talk about USANA, but I think 2 out of the 4 actually started asking me more about it later on, and the other 2 was just it was because I had some pullouts as well. The other 2 were more people who I've contacted just because I needed to make up my points for the week as well. But it was purely just relationships I built over the months and kept in contact with them.
People joined you now and didn't join you 8 months ago, 6 months ago. What was the difference?
I honestly think first of all was timing, because I think people, it's like you always say in our trainings, it's always about the timing when they say no. And I think a lot of these people who've signed up back, rewind, well, 10 months ago pretty much, they had a lot of financial commitments, and also I guess they needed to see me succeed and see how I will last in this business. And because I shared with them how much I was earning from the business and also about what I've achieved from the business and personally and also health-wise and what mum achieved, because mum had a lot of health benefits, I think they felt, oh, it was confidence. So that's what pretty much pulled through. Yeah.
They saw how you changed. I think they probably saw your commitment. You know,
Yeah.
so again, people see your. It's not about how much necessarily how much income you're making. It's about your commitment and your passion, right? Now, during the run, you talk about people are pulled out. They were going to join. Obviously, that happens to everyone. But were there any, what obstacles did you face or unnecessary? Hopefully, you didn't crash your car like Andrew or something. But did you have any obstacles or challenges?
It was really challenging because that week that we decided to just do the run, my dad was visiting from overseas and he was only here for that week. So it was really challenging because I had to do this run and then try to spend time with dad and then was working full time, and it was just time management was quite a challenge, and also sleep. I think surprisingly I didn't stock myself up on Rev 3, but I managed to survive on 5 hours sleep on average. But it was more so just balancing the time, and also I think communication was an issue as well because I was working with my downlines because it was a team effort, and I felt that at times there was just a few miscommunications, and then you've upsetted someone, and then it wasn't meant to be like that. But we learned a lot from this run because we learned, look, from the beginning there was planning, but a lot of communication plays a part in this all. Okay, he's gone.
For communication, that's a lot of the a lot of frustrations in our life, especially with our team. Normally, it's all about miscommunication, or not the lack of communication,
Yeah.
right? So, as a leader, it's so important. If anything that's bothering you with your team, take the time. I just don't just text message. Take the time to call or meet the person. Even sometimes like a short 15-minute meeting definitely helps you out clear the air, right? Because
Yeah.
the longer things don't go away, the longer things don't get settled, it just gets worse and worse, gets buried in there, and it's not like they'll go away. So it's good that it seemed that you communicated, things opened up. Now, I just want to emphasize one thing: when you sign up those people, I mean, you had someone that had in the downline got a rank advancement, so then you basically didn't pull from scratch. You just went to your old contacts and you followed up with them and you brought them in,
Yeah,
right?
correct. Because I felt that when the rank advancement happened, so one leg was strong, it was the other leg that I had to build. And I felt that if I was to, meet new people or to set new people up, it was really forceful to rush it in that 1 week to sign them up because the last thing I feel like a lot of people, when you tell them about USANA, I mean, if you're really lucky, they'll sign on the first go, but it usually takes a few meetings because they got to build that trust. So I felt that if I needed to make this in the 1 week because it was so spontaneous, the best way to do it was to just follow up with old people who know about USANA. So it's not like they'll ask the same old questions again and waste my time because I was already running out of time. So the follow-ups were really important from back 6 to 8 months ago.
Guillermo has a question. We'll get to that question. It's a very good question, Guillermo. But I had a question about one thing. The
Yeah.
oh, I just when you talked about the time management, what's one thing that you did that you said because your father was there? What's one thing that you did for time management that helped you?
Well, I did the jotting down what you were doing, except you know how you said 15 minutes. I actually did it on a half-hour basis. So I was going, okay, this half hour, what I'm going to do. And my lunch breaks, I maximized it. I was calling people my lunch breaks. So it was more about I structured my time to do things. And if I overran, then I'll have to cut back in, say, my gymming activities. Or if I was to take dad out for coffee, I'd be like, Dad, sorry, just a quick, we're only going to go for a quick 1 hour coffee rather than 2 hours planned, but it was more jotting down my times in blocks and figuring out what I was doing in that time. So it was just I had to physically write it down to see it and then cross it off as I went. So it was my best. Yeah, I think I needed to calmly see it there in front of me. Yeah.
You basically planned your day almost to
Yes,
very
correct.
exactly, right?
Yeah.
Because without planning, the time goes by so fast. It's like the time thief. 5 minutes here, 5 minutes here, you lose that time. Now, getting back to Gimba's question, how many team members did you actually work with that helped you on this run?
Yep. So I had my upline who had helped me in this run, and then I also had three downlines that assisted me as well. So in total four. And then I also, at times where it was crucial breaking point, I needed a mentor to support. I actually consulted Christina, who's like up line. So, but I guess we can say five then. I mean, she didn't help me physically in the points side of things, but she helped me mentally, yeah, which was so important. I think when you get to situations like that, she's been through all that, so it was more like, Christina, I'm going through this, what advice can you give? I need to chill out, and she kept me above my water because there was times where you just wanted, like Andrew, so I think Andrew had it worse because he had it 4 weeks in a row. There's times you just wanted to like cry, but then you were like, no, hang on, this is supposed to be fun. The journey's supposed to be fun, and then yeah, they're good at calming you down because they've been through all that.
Yeah, I mean, you said about crying. In silver, you can cry, and when you go gold, silver you cry 1 week, gold you cry for 4 weeks straight. What's the difference?
So Andrew did well then. He only cried 3 times, right? He said he dropped down about 3 times.
Well, gold really, you know what? Gold really builds you because if you all the other rank advancements are for 4 weeks straight anyway. So it's really the first time you get used to it. Like, it builds you. I mean, I'll share my gold story some other day about like my computer crashing and all that, but like it definitely builds you. But let me just elaborate a few things. Ching has a very awesome upline. She's actually one of the Advanced Diamond Mastermind members, Christina Cheng. Maybe you probably know her. You can read more about her. She's also wrote the article in the MLM Training magazine. So she has a very, very good upline. It's also PK Ong's upline. Both Christina and Patrick, very, very sharp couple. Very big vision too, growing the business. Now, I remember what I was going to say was you talked about sometimes we try to push people too much, right? When to signing up the first time, right? That you actually give them some time to follow up because being too pushy actually sometimes turns people away. I'm just curious of the mastermind members here. How many of you signed up immediately on your first presentation? How many of you signed up right away? Okay, without actually looking at, without actually needing a second meeting or one follow-up. How many needed one follow-up? Like, when I say right away, I mean you present, I sign up, I give you a credit card. Or did you go home first and then you sign up the next day, right? How many did you sign up at that first meeting, right on the spot? So Brad took 2 years. Ching, did you sign up right away?
No, I didn't. I took about 6 months.
Okay. So it's about 50-50, right? Some of you, like, come on, Amy, we know you were a product user first. Some of you product users, so generally, this is my view of things, okay? And in general, like you guys are different, you're exception. A lot of times, the ones who sign up right away are either going to be very, very, very good, or they are no good. Okay, it's this extremes. Okay, they're really, really, really good because they make a lot of leaders. They make quick decisions, and then here's something success about. By the way, I treat about successful people. They make quick decisions, but once they make them, they're slow to change decisions. You guys get that? They're quick to make decisions, but slow to change. Unsuccessful people, they're slow to make decisions. They move like tortoises, slow, but they're quick to get out, quit something. Right? Have you think about that? A lot of your bad prospects, your bad downlines, took them forever to join. When they joined, they quit right away. Oh, the first bad thing, they quit. A lot of you here, you make quick decisions, you join it, and then you're slow to change. You don't quit easily. That's one extreme. The other extreme is people who don't normally sign up really quickly. It's because you were a very good prospector, presenter. You're very good at communicating sales. You won the person, wowed them, and even though they have no idea what they're doing, they joined. And then once they went home, they said, "Oh my goodness, what the heck did I just do?" And then they have buyer's remorse. Then they never show up for trainings, or they or they just quit, right? So I know that because I signed up tons of people on the first call, and none of them actually really turned out that good. So let me just read some comments. Michelle, you're in transition and trusted your friend. Okay, so it makes sense. Um, so Ching, let's see. During this challenging time, right? You have some challenges. You talk about being your time management, you're creative, you plan your day, you did something different. Hopefully you are using those same things. I mean, imagine you did that every day. How much more productive? Are you still doing that? Planning your days?
Yeah, I still do that. Well, I have to since I'm leaving this week. I haven't actually even I've been doing quite a lot of USANA meetings still, and I was just sharing with Brad, oh gosh, I haven't even started packing. I better get onto that soon as well. So I've been planning my days as well, just to make the most of it before I fly out. Yeah.
And by the way, that brings up a great point. Just say for some of you have jobs, people who are listening who have jobs, right? Or when you travel, when's the most productive time? When do we become the most very, very, very productive? When you're at a job, think about this. When were you the most productive? Maybe during the year you did a little bit, but when is the time period when you get so much done? Like Wilson said, pressured, right? Like Chris, right before a holiday, right? Right before your holiday, you take a 1 or 2 week vacation because you know that if you don't get things don't get done, you're on vacation, your whole vacation will be ruined because your boss will be calling you at work, your assistant has no idea, will be calling you, right? So like you may take you 1 month, nothing gets done. And like 1 week before vacation, like 3 days before vacation, you're not even like packing, you're crazy doing everything, right? Because it goes back to, humans, right? We operate by pressure. By deadlines. We need deadlines. Um, when I was in Australia, I talked about it. Humans just basically work for 3 things. It's the 3 F's. We talked about this: fight, right? Flight, fight. Our brains, we work best when we're fighting, right? If someone attacks you, all of a sudden you just say you're lazy. You don't feel like if someone comes to attack you, you be ready to go, right? You're not going to say, oh, let me get up later. Let me sleep a little bit extra. Let me watch some TV. If someone's attacking you, you jump right now. You be in action mode. Because this just goes back to our caveman. Second thing is flight. You're not motivated to exercise and run, a tiger comes running at you, you be running, right? Flight. And then the other thing is, actually 4, fornication, which is basically having sex. Humans are always motivated by sex, right? You're lazy, but you're single, you have attractive female, you're motivated, go out. And then the last thing is food. We're hungry, we're starving. Why do people go to jobs that they hate? Because they need to pay the bills for food, so they wake up. So knowing that, our brains, unfortunately, we are only operate best when we're pressured. That's why it goes back to the timer, planning your day. That's the best thing, right? Also, like like right before the vacation, that's when the holiday, that's when I got to get everything done. You get so much more done. You're leaving in 3 days, you haven't packed yet. There's a reason why, right? So, Bates actually defined the word fornication. So I didn't know that definition. So I'm sorry if it means sex outside the context of marriage. So, but anyway, you know what I mean, right? The opposite sex. So let's go back to okay, David. Now, yeah, so your question, we'll bring that up. Okay, being creative. What did you learn about yourself during the experience?
I actually learned that I can be a really good team player. I'm someone that's actually I do a lot of things self because I've got quite high expectations on myself to achieve goals. So I'm always and I don't like to rely on people because I know when people let you down, you're like, oh, I could have done it better. So I really had to, and Christina knows this, and I really had to let my guard down and go, look, it's really team effort. I have to have belief in that my downlines can do it as well. So it was, it was good to know that I can be a great team player because even though it was for me, the points were for me, it's in effect it was for my team, my downline as well, and also for them to actually to watch them grow. And so it was really good that I think I would have said during this time period I was quite a good leader. So yeah, Christina can probably testify. But yeah, it's more about I can do it well in a team environment. Because I've always I think part of me has always been even with school when I used to play sports, I was so competitive and I just hated being in a team environment because you have to rely on someone else and it's just something that I have to break free from. So yeah.
Yeah, well, I still remember when we did a webinar months ago. I think about like 8 months ago when you're on. I've definitely seen you
Yeah.
change, seen you grow. How have you seen yourself? In what ways have I mean, aside from time management, and you see yourself as a team player? Any other ways where you've seen yourself grow? Not just in
Uh,
business, but as a person.
Yeah, well, I think it's mom has actually commented that she goes even because my life before USANA was already busy. I was just running around and I've got a lot of extracurricular activities on. So mom always commented that yeah, I was busy, but I always seem to complain about my busyness. But this time she's like, "Whoa, you've got everything that you had before, plus USANA on the side, even more busy, but you're very happy." So I think the difference in because I'm doing something that I actually enjoy, there's that happiness. So I've got it's very important you find your passion. So that's I think one thing that mum's noticed from me, and she's very happy, which is why in effect she's known that not only Yusan has helped her, but because it's changed my life, she just tells everyone about it. She's my ambassador.
That's awesome. What's one thing? I mean, we've been working together for a while. What's one thing you learned from me? That was probably the biggest thing that's helped you during your rank advancement.
Definitely mindset. What's really important is that even though times are tough and things are difficult, we really have to believe in our mindset. You know, you talk about 90% mindset, 10% skills. The skill side of things, yep, we learn it in training. We can learn it from our uplines. We can learn it from our team even, but it's just the mindset because I think there were so many times where during that my silver run, I could have given up because it was just so hard. But then it was like, you know what? I made that commitment to myself, to my team, even to my uplines. I'm not going to let them down and do it. So really, mindset's something that I've learned from you to really always believe that no matter whatever circumstances happens, if you have that mindset, you can get through.
When times are tough, I know. I mean, there's always like the angel and devil, right? Angel says you can do it. The devil says, "Nah, it's tough." I mean, what do you do to keep yourself motivated to stay positive?
Yeah, well, during the silver run, just before I started, I actually went on Google and I took a picture of Bora Bora because I like to go there one day as well. So I took a photo of it, and when times got really tough, I just looked at the picture and reminded myself, what's my reward later on when I build this business. So I think it's just reminding yourself why you've started doing this in the first place. And for me, it's like the freedom to travel. So if it's freedom to travel, just push through, just push through. So just have to keep, yeah, reminding myself of my goals. Yeah.
Now that you're a silver director, you actually have a rank. You know, you're on more of a pedestal now. You're more visible. A lot of people look up to you. If you just share one thing for them to really take away, that they'll remember, what would that be?
I think it's just that everyone has that potential to do this business and take it wherever they can, and just to not doubt yourself. Because I know it's really easy for us to, as human beings, to fall in that trap where we go, "Oh, it's so hard." I think it's just easier if we just go back to our old jobs and our old lives. But I think it's really important to you only have one life to live. It's really important to carry through and carry forward your dreams. If you make the commitment to do USANA as a business or anything else in life, just see it through. Yeah. So.
And the last question is, you had mentioned you're going to China. How long are you going there? And what are some of your upcoming plans? And how do you plan to support your team while you're out there?
Yep. I'm heading for 6 months study in China, and then I'll probably be traveling for about a good month, where I will drop off Singapore and Malaysia to follow up on my team and customers there. But I think more so just when I'm in China, just to learn the culture there for the first few months and build relationships because I know no one there. And before I can get into even thinking about doing USANA there, it's just more about understanding how things work there. And I've already run through the price list of the China plan, and I've gone through how it works. There's a little bit more different than Australia, but yeah, no, go through there and check out the branches there as well. But yeah, just do travels and supporting my team, I asked that question to you last week and it's a great response. So I'll be WhatsApping or calling them every day because they have Skype as well. So I'll make sure I follow up with them on a daily basis. And now that I've got an extra 4 people on top of my 3 that I had previously, just making sure that every day they're contacted to see how they're doing and provide as much support I can from China. The good thing, it's the same time zone, so there's no issues with time. It's just more so being able to support them over the internet.
Thank you again for sharing, and congrats to being silver. It's I still remember silver. It's a big accomplishment, and it seems like you have big goals. You're part of the Perth Gen Y group, along with Brad and also Batista. So,
Yeah,
so it's exciting. Thank you for sharing. Very, very
yeah,
exciting.
cool.
And any final words?
Actually, I noticed John wasn't on this call, but it's funny because he's actually my neighbor, so I should really go pop over and visit him and see how he's doing. It's just been quite hectic, so I have to make time for him. But yeah, but no, I think yeah, all good. I'm looking forward to keeping in touch with the guys in Perth while I'm in China as well, and support each other. And hopefully, when I do come back next year, we did try to have something going before I left, but I think given time constraints, yeah, when I'm back next year, hopefully we can have a bigger Gen Y team and we can start doing our Gen Y trainings.
Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you for sharing your vision.
Thanks,
And
everyone.
so that's what it takes to be silver. It's there's a lot of lessons there. Not just like the overcoming the mindset. Learning to develop your mind, the time management. You can make excuses or make things happen. Doing the time logging every minute that you're doing the every minute you spend, finding ways, scheduling your day. Otherwise, things won't happen. Right? Scheduling your appointments. And just the growth being consistency, right? If it wasn't for consistency, how you market yourself, her upline market herself, being consistent with the blender bottle, always being prepared. Like I said, the people are out there. You always have to ask yourself, how do I get these type of people? I mean, for everyone that doesn't join, there are people who are willing to join. So thank you again for sharing, Ching.